What's up everybody, Arrg The Pirate here, and today I'm going to be playing a little dual lane Revenant. As always, let's go over the deck. Now I have Auto Health Potion, Fast Travel, Life Steal, Piercing Basic, Critical Hits, and lastly Healing Towers for my gems. Now for my cards, I have Coal of the Week, Demolitionist, Nitro Boost, Sand Speeder, Guard Piercer, Veil Stepper, Pressure Hunter, Swamp Stalker, Heavy Hitter, Wound Seeker, the only card you really need, Death Crawler, and lastly Vampiric Blade. Now, I have not been playing Revenant for a while. You know, really, Revenant is kind of a risky hero. You know, if you show up and use an ability, or, you know, you shoot 3 shots, save up that Death Crawler, you know, jump out of the woods, shoot your bullet, use your Q. If you do that, you're going to get a kill. But other than that, you know, it's almost like you play Revenant as an assassin. And as an ADC, you know, I really like having that ADC that can really just lay down the fire and zone people out and things like that. And I think that's why so many people have found success with Revenant in the off lane. You know, you've even seen him in the mid lane a couple of times. Although I haven't faced off against a Revenant in the mid lane, but I think if I was playing a caster in the mid lane, I really don't think Revenant would be able to handle me. But, you know, I'm not sure. I haven't played against him. I've seen people play him. I just haven't played against him like that. But, is what it is, guys. I'm trying him out in the solo lane, and, you know, he's okay. I definitely think there are some better choices. Now, the first thing I gotta say, guys, is waiting around for wards just isn't worth it anymore. You know, I think waiting around for wards happened really well when we were in a 1v2 lane. But now that it's a 2v2 lane, I just don't think it's worth. I think it's best to, you know, try to get a kill, something like that, and then go back for wards. Now, this is if you're on the Dusk side. If you're on the Dawn side, I think it is much different. Now, our Chimera heads in, and we get an amazing gank. And, you know, we're able to take out Steel. We're able to take out their Durango. You know, we start off great. You know, not even 3 minutes into the match, and we've got a couple of kills. This is absolutely amazing, you know. And this is another point, guys. Freeze the lane. That's what we're doing here. You see, I'm not really pushing this lane. You know, I am kind of doing some damage right now, but again, I'm stopping. I'm waiting. I am not pushing this lane. When you push lanes, that's how you lose. That's how you get these early game deaths. You saw the enemy team. We were able to take them out just easy peasy because they pushed that lane. Now, I'm terrible with last hits. I never play Revenant. You know, I forget about his reload, everything like that. You know, again, guys, I jump around from hero to hero all the time, so it's really hard for me to get good with one hero since, you know, I'll go like a month, 2 months without ever even touching them. But, you know, give me 10 minutes of the first match and we'll slowly get back into them. But, you know, again, you see, I'm letting them come into the tower. Sure, they've got a siege minion in here. That's not a big deal, guys. It really isn't. Sure, we're going to suffer a little tower damage, but hey, that's all right. We're getting fed. The enemy team is not. And that is what we want. We want the enemy team to remain out of farm. And while this is, you know, if I could actually get last hits, it would be really beneficial for me. But, you know, this is huge. The enemy team is going to be very underfed, and with Durango being, you know, kind of in a way a kit hero, he needs some levels to really get those uranium, dirty rounds, whatever they're called, the rad rounds. He really needs them to be at a higher level because, you know, that's where his damage comes from. And if we're starving him from farm, not only levels, but actual getting card points, that's absolutely huge. And again, you can see, we push that wave up, we're going to go back to our lane, and hey, slow farm again, guys. This is what it's about. It when you can pressure the enemy team, go for it, but when you can't, slow farm. Now, there is a point to, you can't always slow farm. I do a poor job here. You need to take out some of these ranged minions because the ranged minions will absolutely shred through your minions. Ranged minions hit hard, and, I should have taken out one of their ranged, but it's okay. We're slow farming. We're keeping them unfed. You see, their Durango, he's been out of farm for a while now. Now that Steel's back, hey, that's okay. But again, just gonna slow farm, guys. And I show this, and I'm talking about this so much because I've seen so many people out there just pushing lanes, either solo lane or the duo lane. Guys, we gotta stop this. It's just like how it used to be. It is important to freeze the lane as well as you can, and as much as you can. Now our Chimera heads up, their Grux heads up. We get into a little engagement here. Hopefully we can take someone out. And, it was kind of a sloppy team fight with their jungler heading right behind our jungler, but we got way more damage on them than they got on us. And so this is, that's quite alright. I'm going to go ahead, grab my gold buff. We can see, since we have a ward down, we can see their Grux isn't leaving. Grux is not running away, so this is huge. We know that, hey, he's not leaving. We need to play a little bit safer. Their Durango did back, so, there's not a whole lot we can do. But it's about time we, push this wave into the tower, get it reset. I'm going to head back, actually put some cards on, and we'll see what happens from here. Now, I go ahead and throw on Guard Piercer, and, Guard Piercer is such a good card. Now, in the deck description, I put on Veil Stepper, which I just got to thinking about how, since the way you play Revenant, you kind of sneak up on people and do tons of damage all at once. And I was thinking, hey, Veil Stepper might be a good card. Now, I wish I would have tried it. Never even crossed my mind to throw that in this deck. Like I said, I wish I would have tried it, but, I didn't quite do it. But no problem at all. Now, I went through Durango's little silence thing. I wasn't able to wrap up that Durango kill, but no problem. Our Narbash got that, and then we ended up picking up that Steel kill, which is great. And, again, we're just going to push down the lane. I've got some power on now, with having Pressure Hunter, so we're doing a solid job. Now, one thing about Revenant, guys, is it's really important to get kills while in your ultimate. That's how you get fed. And this is one of those things that you need to play Revenant to actually fully grasp how to use his kit, things like that. And, how to, use that ultimate and utilize, I believe it's called Reckoning. Utilize it to, synergize with your ultimate, or with your Obliterate, with your Scar, with your last hit, with that Death Crawler. You want to use all these things back to back, really get that kill and get that free gold or those bounties for actually getting those kills. That's absolutely huge. And, it's important to actually do that, guys. So, definitely try to use Reckoning, as good as you can to get those kills, because it really does give you a huge gold advantage. Now, the reason I say this is because I actually try it out here and I'm just unsuccessful. I said, you know what, I'm going to go in on this Durango. We should be able to take him out. And I thought I had enough for Obliterate, but I didn't. If I would have had Obliterate, yeah, he would have gone down. But I was out of mana. That's unfortunate. We wasted our ultimate. It does isolate you to where you can tower dive, things like that. You can also use it to negate people from being able to damage your tower. But really, getting that gold farm is so huge with your ultimate. And it's unfortunate I was out of mana at that point. Like I said, I don't play Revenant a whole lot, so it's very easy for me to forget, oh, things actually cost a ton of mana with him, so we actually missed out on that kill, but hey, no problem. We forced their Durango out of lane, which is gonna give us the freedom to back and throw on our heavy hitter with that Nitro boost, and, hey, we're starting to stack up power. Now, after I head back to my lane, I'm talking with my team and we're saying, hey, it's time we made some progress. Let's go ahead and push this. Let's, I am, of course, going to freeze the lane because freezing the lane set, that gets that good big minion wave in there. But it's time to put some pressure on. Let's put some pressure on, really try to get some damage on these you know, on this enemy team, try to get this tower down, really, you know, try the best we can, and, you know, you see, we're kind of going back and forth. We're able to get quite a bit of damage on people, but it's just not quite there yet. Now, we do take out Steel. This is going to allow us to head into this tower, get some good amount of damage on. Now, Narbash did head back, and I had no idea he actually headed back. You know, we're in comms, but, you know, he talked kind of quiet, so, well, I didn't actually hear him say he was going back. I probably wouldn't have done that if I would have known that he was gone. I just thought he was behind me. But that does bring us to our next kind of play. Now, Iggy does head over, and our Chimera heads straight in, guys. And, you know, Iggy's set up, you know, I head in to try to help out. You know, Chimera went in. That was just a bad call. You know, Iggy had 3 turrets down. You know, Chimera ran straight into that and just dove right away. And, you know, I could have backed up, but that's not the type of player I am. I'm gonna help people, so I go in there and, you know, which I know better. You know, I knew I was going to die. It's just that it's part of who I am. But anyways, that was a bad call, guys. That was terrible to go in on that Iggy with 3 turrets set up. You know, he also had Durango there. You know, there was no way we were going to live through that, especially since they were under a tower. Picking the right time to go against an Iggy is huge, guys. And when Iggy has 3 turrets down, that's the wrong time. You know, as simple as that. If Iggy's got 3 turrets down, don't mess with him, because he's going to melt you. And it's not him that's doing the damage, it's his turrets. And sure, an ADC can take down Iggy's turrets fairly easily, but Revenant is not one of those ADCs that can just blow down those turrets. You know, Murdoch, Twin Blast, Sparrow, yeah, no problem at all. Revenant, with his reload, needs a little more time to take down those turrets. And, you know, that was just a bad call. But, you know, hey, we're 14 minutes in. It's time we actually got, you know, something done. You know, let's get some damage. I didn't know Narbash was backing up there, but quite all right. You know, we lived through that engagement, and we're pretty healthy with it too. We're actually able to take out that Durango within our ultimate, so we got a good boost of gold from that. And, you know, from here, we're just going to push down into this tower. If Steel stays, you know, he's going to hurt, because, you know, a couple of bullets from me is going to do the trick. Sure enough, from here, you know, we're going to make some progress, push down this lane, and, you know, we're able to take down this tower. And, you know, Revenant does struggle a little bit with towers because of his reload. You know, he does do massive amount of damage, but that reload, yeah, it just makes it a little more tough. But quite all right. You know, we will try to engage a little bit, but hey, just let's get out. There's no reason to push up that far. This was the first tower that fell, you know, on this duo side. So, you know, hey, we're doing good. Let's just reset. Let's kind of collect ourselves, head back to base, put a couple of cards on, then get back in lane, get ready for the counter push. Now, we do head back to base, but unfortunately, we're not able to make it back in time to really get rid of this counter push. You know, Narbash, he does take a little bit longer, and then he comes in that back way, kind of. So, we just didn't have enough presence there, but that's quite alright. With Steel being there and just throwing away his ultimate the way he did, you know, it would have been difficult for us to get that anyways. They had quite a bit of tower damage on it. But again, guys, T1s are designed to fall. You know, all towers in general are designed to fall. So don't worry about losing that. You know, set your lane, rotate. And that's exactly what we're planning on doing. We're going to start setting this lane, rotating to Fang, rotating to mid, everything like that. And that's going to free us up. And we can really start, you know, getting some damage out. Now, sure enough, once we kind of push this lane, hey, it's time to go for Fang. And you see, I push that lane, get it on that enemy side, and, you know, it's on the enemy side of the river. I see Durango went back, and, hey, that's perfect. Let's go ahead, get the Fang right now. You know, let's everybody collapse, get the Fang. We know we don't have to worry about Durango too much since he did back, and, hey, perfect time, guys. Sure enough, you know, they're pushing us, but it's quite all right. You see, I'm cranking out damage, guys. I hit hard. You know, I definitely hit hard. I'm going to go ahead and ult steal. And, you know, this is going to isolate him so I don't have to deal with Durango. And then, you know, I'm just going to kind of dip out. Now, I'm watching the minimap. I see Durango turns around. I'm going to head right back to the lane. You know, keep my farm going. And just really, you know, continue to farm. Now, I like to slow farm a little bit more. Or, you know, or not maybe slow farm, but set this lane a little bit more. But right now, you know, I definitely want to get fed and everything like that. So I'm going to push that first wave and then set the second wave. This is going to free me up to go, you know, help elsewhere. Now, Chimera is able to deal with Durango, no problem at all. And watch, guys, I'm going to head back here and not touch this lane. This lane is set perfect right now. I don't need to do anything to that lane. It's going to naturally push, and when it finally does make it, if it does make it all the way to the tier 2, that wave's going to be so big that it's going to just shred a tower. So that's how you want to set a lane. That's what you want to do with it. Don't mess with the lane if you can. Now, there Grux heads over, and, you know, hey, well, I'm in comms with our Shimby. I say, hey, let's turn on him. Let's take him out, and sure enough, we're able to take him. He was just chasing a little too much, and he definitely got punished for that. Their Revenant, or their Richter, I'm sorry, their Richter, he gets caught out as well, and we're able to punish him. Iggy is here, you know, and I wanted to go in on that, but I say, you know what, let's not deal with it. Iggy's tough. You know, I've almost got my ultimate, and if he stays in, I can probably go in there and get my ultimate on him. Sure enough, you know, I'm heading over, we get that ultimate, we're able to chase him a little bit, get that obliterate, take him out, and, you know, giving us another good gold boost and, you know, bounty for it. Now, we're making some solid progress here, guys. You know, you see we've got staggered deaths on the enemy team, we're making a huge push in mid, and there's no need to stop. You know, let's take down this inhib, we're just making incredible plays here. The enemy Steel is pushing our lane. You know, he went and messed up the lane that I set, and that's an issue. I go ahead and try to lazy back to get back there in time, but I get caught lazy backing. And, you know, luckily my team, they didn't leave me, and we're able to, you know, kind of collapse onto this. You know, that was my fault. Again, lazy backing. You know, I was really backing right there because I wanted to save that T2, but hey, no problem. We traded an inhib for a T2, and this was a conscious choice by our team, so it's really not that big of a deal. You know, sure, it'd be nice to have jump pads, but it's really nice taking down having super minions, so I'm not worried about that at all. From here, I'm going to back and go ahead and put on my max build. Now, of course, my max build is Guard Piercer, Vampiric Blade, and that Death Crawler. And check this out, guys. Get that Death Crawler. Look at that damage. That almost one-shot Iggy, guys. That's so much damage. And whether you like it or hate it, that's just how Rev is, guys. You know, shoot your 3 shots, get on your last round, you know, try to ult somebody, use that, you know, hit them with your ult, hit them with your Scar or whatever, and then hit them with that final shot, obliterate. They should be dead. You get the bounty, you're more and more fed. But, you know, at this point in the match, guys, you're fed to the point where you've got your max build. All you're really doing is spending points on, you know, really health. You can get more vitality to make you harder to kill. And, you know, getting a ton of vitality actually really does help. Especially against a Revenant. Because, you know, Revenant versus Revenant, when you're both hitting that just insane amount, the guy that's going to win that fight is the one that has the most vitality. Now, from here, we end up collapsing on Raptor again, and, you know, the enemy team does come in, try to contest, and hey, that's great. You know, unfortunately, that Steel, you know, that hurt, that took Steel out of the fight. I just ulted anybody to try to save somebody. You know, unfortunately, I picked Steel, which, you know, Steel's a tough hero to kill, but we managed to take him out. You know, I did run through enemy lines to do that, but hey, it is what it is. I'm gonna head down, you know, maybe we can get another kill. That was, you know, a successful team fight on our side. We won it 2v1. We lost the support for their jungle and their support, so, you know, we won that fight, but you know, we definitely need to keep an eye on Raptors. I definitely want to go get Raptors as soon as we can. Now, we kind of push the enemies back a little bit, and hey, let's go for Raptors. So, we end up going in on Raptors. Now, Richter does show up. And guys, I see a ton of people do this where they'll just stay on the Raptor when enemies show up. You definitely have to zone out the enemy team, guys. You have to zone out the enemy team. If you're going to continue to stay on Raptors, if you let them go into that pit, they're going to steal Raptors 50% of the time. So zone them out. And if you don't have anybody there to zone, you know, those enemies out, stop attacking Raptor. That's just how it's got to be. And, you know, hey, we did a great job there. I was able to zone while Chimera kept the damage up and kept that aggro from Fang. And sure enough, we were able to wrap up Raptors. You know, we get our second one. And we are all kind of here in mid, but guys, there's really no point in being in mid. You know, mid's naturally set. So we're going to go ahead and just force this a little bit. And then, you know, just rotate to another lane. Now, by forcing that mid lane, by shoving it all the way up there, we're keeping the pressure up, and this is really, you know, making the enemy team concentrate on a different lane while our team starts pushing other lanes, you know, and you can see we've got a great split push going. Our Chimera's in one lane, you know, pushing it very good with a solid minion wave behind him, and we're in that duo lane, and we're pushing it fairly decent. But, you know, everybody starts showing up. Their Steel shows up. Steel's definitely got his ult. It's time to get out, you know. We don't need to mess with this. It would very easily go bad for us. And, hey, let's just get out. Now, this does set us up for a great opportunity on Prime. You know, our mid lane's pushing past the inhib. Our duo lane, you know, it was pushed pretty far. And our solo lane is pushed up, you know, past the river. So right now, we're able to head back both to our duo and our solo lanes, and, you know, hopefully we'll be able to make something happen. Now, I do get pulled by that Grux, and I was not expecting to get pulled by Grux. We're able to get one shot on Durango and take him out, getting us another bounty, which, you know, I've got tons of gold right now, guys. I need to get better at spending gold. I really wish that the 1, 2, 3 button clicks to spend gold were easier, but I constantly put them in the wrong spot. I don't know, maybe I just need to put them in somewhere else, but I have been just holding control and assigning points that way. And, you know, once I actually get to a point where I'm comfortable enough to do it, where I'm running through the jungle or whatever, that's when I've been doing it. But I'm not as good as I should be at assigning gold, but no problem. Now, I leave the solo lane, kind of run around, and then I see on the minimap, you know, hey, we've got presence elsewhere. Go back to the solo lane and continue pushing. Now, I am accompanied with our Chimera, but, you know, we go ahead and take this tier 2, and I say, you know, let's get out of here. You know, the Chimera's splitting off a little bit. I'm just going to turn around and run down my lane. I'll let Chimera run across the jungle the way he was going. I don't want to do that. I don't trust what's going on in the enemy jungle. You know, we don't have vision on their entire team. And Grux would be a very easy person to kill me. So I need to be careful about that. And I'm just going to kind of look around, try to find a kill. Now you can see, again, I'm shooting those 3 shots, getting that Death Crawler charged up, and this is going to allow me to just crank tons of damage out. You see, we hit this Richter for 800 damage or something like that. You know, that's a lot of damage. And I am doing a lot of damage, but, you know, their Richter is pretty tanky, so I'm not quite able to just delete him, and he's able to get out. So, you know, I didn't get a kill for that ultimate, but that's quite alright. We've got a good chunk of damage on him, and if he pushes up, you know, we're gonna take him down, as well as Steel. You know, Steel's here. We're just kind of waiting on him. You know, we're waiting on everything to get situated, but hey, nothing's gonna happen. Let's get out. Let's kind of reset. Let's go ahead and take Fang. Sure enough, that's what we do. So this is going to be our 3rd Fang of the match, and you know, that's absolutely huge, guys. Getting 3 Fangs, it's just such an advantage. And now, you know, I'm just kind of looking, you know, I definitely want to get a kill. So I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens. Now, their Steel shows up, and boom, look at the damage, guys. Look at the damage. That is absolutely insane. That is so much damage. Now Chimera does jump in there, and, you know, with their team having such a good rotation over here, you know, I'm not going to be able to save him in that, and he ends up going down, which, you know, he did take out that steal, but steal for a jungler, you know, or a support for a jungler, I don't know if it's quite worth it. Now our Shinbi is heading in, and I do not mean to use my ultimate here. I was trying to use my Scar, and I end up using, or trying to use my Obliterate, and I end up using my ultimate, which, you know, I basically used my ultimate, and that makes it where Shinbi can't help me. But sure enough, my ultimate doesn't last long. We're able to take out that Grux, and with Shinbi showing up, you know, she just absolutely deleted their Durango. And, you know, Shinbi's so strong right now, guys. She's so strong. I've seen Shinbi's going like 25 kills in a match right now. And once she gets like 5 or 6 kills within the first few minutes, you can't touch her. You know, oh god, she's so strong. But from here, we're going to go ahead and push down this lane, and we end up actually wrapping up the match shortly. Well, guys, as this match wraps up, I gotta say, Revenant is borderline OP. You know, being able to hit for 2,000 damage, I think that's way too hard. I don't think you should hit for 1,000 damage. I don't think there should be a hero out there that hits for 1,000, even though, you know, there's a lot of burst casters that hit for that much. But, you know, they're on, you know, a 7-second cooldown where Revenant's hitting for that, you know, every other hit, or, you know, every 5 seconds. On top of that, you know, his bullets just hit hard. His Obliterate hits insanely hard. You know, he just hits hard, guys. And, you know, he doesn't really fit my playstyle. The whole sneak up, you know, throw your ultimate, hit 2 buttons and they're dead. Some people really enjoy that. I don't know what it is. I really enjoy Countess. I just do not enjoy Revenant. I don't know, the playstyles are different, and one's enjoyable for me, one isn't. But again, Revenant is very, very strong, and I hope this guide helps, you know, show y'all a way to build him, and really the way to build him, and maybe give you some insight on him. But I would, if you want to get into Revenant, I would try playing him in a solo lane and see how you do. Well, that's going to wrap it up, guys. This was a really fun match, and, you know, hey, playing with friends is always a great time. But if you enjoyed this video, show me some love, leave me a comment, think about subscribing, join our Discord if you haven't done it already. I'd love to play with some more of y'all. And as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.